Hello again, friends and loyal WulffPack members. Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. That's it. It's finally happened. We've had the very first of the Imperial ship kits released. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. It is indeed for the Imperial cutter. Now, let's go and have a look. As we can see, first off, it's only a three-part kit. Spoilers, wings, and bumper. There are no tail pieces. But in each section we do have 4 individual pieces to choose from. So first of all, let's go and have a look at the spoilers. First of all, we've got spoiler 1. Now that's not bad. It does actually seem to fit the overall look and feel of the Imperial ships. It's nice and rounded, it's angular and curved at just the right kind of proportions, at least in my mind. That is not bad at all. Well, we can see that it does in fact extend further back than I thought it did. So it's a good thing we had a look. The problem is, because this ship is so big, it's very difficult to get a good look at this whilst we're on the pad. But just look at how huge that is. It's adding a little bit of height to the ship, but not a massive amount. Moving on to spoiler 2, and as we can see, wow, this one really as well looks like it fits with the Imperial design. Nicely angled, nicely rounded, and curved. Again, that looks really, really nice. I actually do like this one. Looking again from the rear, we can see that it adds even more details that you cannot see from the front. 2 little fins poking out the back. That's actually quite nice, although I have noticed a little problem right there. Yes, we are in fact clipping through the gantry above us. So that's kind of amusing, and you don't really see that from the front. Moving over to spoiler 3, here we go. This is a lot lower down, and it adds a bunch of fins over on the ship. 2 on the top, 2 on the sides, and again, it really does feel like it would fit on the ship. Now, as we can see here, the fins do actually extend back and around, so that's kind of interesting. You can see that they do extend a little bit further back, although I have noticed that they do actually cover over the ship designation, so that's not ideal. But again, we see little bits that we wouldn't see from the front, like the 2 little extended pinions coming out from the back, but this one does not clip through the gantry, so that's interesting. Now, moving on to the last of the spoilers, and that is this one. This one doesn't add any extra height at all, but it does add just some extra width to the top of the tail. That's interesting. Now, looking at the back, we can in fact see that it does add... It actually extends all the way back along those two prongs that come out the back of the ship, which is kind of cool. Well, that is nice. They do seem to be somewhat chrome as well, unless it's just a trick of the light here, but that does look kind of cool. Adds a little bit of extra weight to the top half of the ship, at least visually speaking, because as we know, these are just cosmetic items. Moving on to section 2, we're going to have a look at the wings. The first one of these is going to be this one. Now that's kind of interesting. We can see that adds a wing to the top of the side of the nacelle, making this even wider, and another wing to the bottom of the nacelle, so that's kind of interesting as well. Getting a closer look up, we can see that they're also even staggered. One is a little bit further forward than the other. The lower one is in line with your decal, and the upper one is much more towards the rear of the nacelle. Moving over to the second of the wings, and that is this one. Wow, that makes this even wider. Yet, it just accentuates the curve and just follows the lines of the ship all the way up. That is really, really nice. I do like that one. So let's add that and let's have a look around the rear and see if there's any extra details we can see from back there. Alright, that's interesting. This is something that I wouldn't have noticed from the front. You can see that it does indeed follow the line of the ship, but it doesn't end up in the centre of the nacelle. It's actually slightly higher up. And it does indeed cover over your decal port, or your decal on the side of the nacelle, so that's something worth keeping in mind. Moving over to part 3, and that is going to be this one. This looks very similar to one of the parts from part 1, as you can see. the lower fin there, but it is just a larger version without the top fin. So let's add that and get a little bit of a closer look. Taking a closer look at this one, we can see that it does actually extend the entire length of the inner cell, though it does taper off at the front. Well, that adds an interesting shape to the outside of the cell, and it does not cover over the... Now I see why they don't want to go through the center of the cell, because of these two glowing points here. And moving over to the last of the wing sections, and that is going to be this one. Wow, that looks very, very rounded, almost flying saucer-esque. I'm really curious to go and see how this looks close up. Now, looking closer up, it does in fact look a lot less semicircular, and looks a lot more fin-like. Some interesting reflective surfaces on there, actually. That's kind of nice. A little bit extra effort on the Imperial kits, it would seem. I wonder why. Imperial bias, maybe. But it's not bad. Although, I personally think this is the weakest of all of the wing fins. And the last section is now going to be the bumpers. So let's go and have a look at those. The first of these is actually going to be... Holy crud. That makes... Wow. That is making this a lot longer. It looks like you've strapped a pair of railguns to the front of the ship. I've got to go and have a closer look at this. Wow. Those are huge. It really does look like a pair of railguns have been added to the front. Or maybe those are just the... Wow, the rails for the rail gun. Wow, that is insane. As you can see, it is much lower down on the hull, lining up with what looks like potentially the headlights. No, it's not, those are the headlights there. There's maybe maneuvering thrusters? I'm not sure. In fact, that is kind of nice. I do like that in a way, but that is... Wow. And that extends beyond the edge of the landing pad, so we are going to be getting some clippage. Moving over to bumper 2, that is going to be... Oh, nice. Look at that. That does add some really nice lines to the side of the ship. Wow. And as we can see, it doesn't just follow a straight line. It does indeed follow the lines of the body of the ship. That is very nice, in fact. Again, it's even got more neon sections and more lights over these pieces. It looks like Frontier's really pushed the boat out for the first of the Imperial body kits. And again, I've just got to reiterate, I'm starting to think there's some Imperial bias here. Okay, so that was bumper 2. Let's have a look at bumper 3. Holy cow, look at that. That's following the same lines but extending way further back in a completely different feel to it. There's no silver edging on this one at all. Now let's go and have a look and see how this looks up close. Yep, you can definitely see that it does extend along the lines of the ship. In fact, this part of the kit does go and extend above the start of the wings where the nacelles are attached. So make of that what you will. And again, more neon sections and lights on these. So again, really fitting with the ship. Now, moving on to the last of the parts, and that is going to be bumper 4. Now, that is interesting. That is adding a bit more of what I deem as a hammerhead part aspect to the ship. But considering this is an Imperial design, it's a lot more elegant. More lights on there, more chrome sections. More lights as well there. Another neon strip there. That's really not bad at all. Having a look around the side, we can see that again it is rounded very nicely in the Imperial fashion and actually angled slightly downwards, which I was not expecting. So, overall, what are the parts that I'm thinking of going for? To be perfectly honest, I really do like, even though it clips, I do like this. That looks nice. Then again, I like all of the fins. Not number 4 less so, but I do like spoiler 2, I like spoiler 1, and I like spoiler 3. But out of all of them, I think spoiler 2 is actually the best, despite the clipping. On the wings, I am definitely also going to be going for wings too, just because I really like that sweeping sensation there. Unfortunately, it does cover over our decal, so I will have to go and remove those off the side points. And for the bumper, to be perfectly honest, I'm really not 100% sure which one I want to go for. Part 2 would fit with the rest of the theme. Part 3 would extend further back. Part 4, not a big fan of, but I really do like the absolute insanity of Bumper 1. So I think that's what we're going to go for. Now, the question that we have is, how are these going to work with different paint schemes? Now, obviously, I'm going to be running this with the chrome, and virtually any ship kit looks amazing in chrome. Again, for the Black Friday, it just fits perfectly because it is a solid colour. But let's go and check out what else we have. We have the Pulse kits. Again, it fits really well. We don't seem to have any glow down the extended pieces. Actually, we might do here, but that might actually just be a trick of the light there. And then again, for everything else, we don't really have... Yes, no, that was not actually any glowing points on the new pieces. So the piece starts here. Yeah, the glow is on the main body. But it still looks really, really nice, actually. Having a look at the Vibrant kits, you can see that you do get some colour disparity between different sections, but it seems to run in line with the kit as well. It really, like I said, it really does feel like Frontier's pulled out all the stops for the Imperial kits. I can kind of see why they've waited to bring out the Imperial ones so long. So, you've heard what I think about the brand new Cutter ship kit, and what I just look at that. That looks so majestic and insane. It's ridiculous. It looks like an eagle on steroids. Holy crud. I love it. It's amazing. Now, the question, as always, is what do you guys think about this kit? Are you going to get it yourself? Are you not going to touch it with a 10-foot cattle prod? Let me know, as always, in the comments, and I'll get back to as many of you as I can. I love this. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks even better in the chrome right next to a star. But that's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.